Hello, welcome to another conversation with Swallow the Pill. My name is Zena, and I am a friendly nurse educator, and we are here to have another conversation today. If you have not already, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. I thank you for helping me to grow this channel and for helping me to give you a platform so that I can help educate you on your health. So, the conversation that we're going to have today, we are going to talk about hyperlipidemia. Some of you may know what that is. Some of you may not know what that is. Some of you may have been diagnosed with that and you don't even know what that means for your health. But no worries, your girl is here. I am here to help you. We are going to talk about it. We're going to talk about what it is. And we are going to talk about what comes with it. And we're going to talk about what can you do to eliminate the risks that come with having hyperlipidemia. So what exactly is hyperlipidemia and what does it mean for your body? Hyperlipidemia, you can understand it as another word for high cholesterol. Everyone knows, everyone has heard about cholesterol. Maybe you have, maybe you haven't. I used to hear about it all the time when I was a young girl. Your cholesterol this, your cholesterol that. But hyperlipidemia is another word for high cholesterol. But what exactly is hyperlipidemia? I want you to understand it as this. This is the textbook definition. This is what you can Google and find. Hyperlipidemia is a high level of lipids and fat in the bloodstream. High levels of lipids and fat within the bloodstream. What exactly? That still makes no sense to me. Like, what does that mean? When you have a high level of lipids and fat within your bloodstream and you have hyperlipidemia, that is a one-way ticket to heart disease and stroke. Think of it that way. Okay, so I want to give you a realistic viewpoint of what is actually happening within your body. So think about it like this, okay? So hyperlipidemia is an abundance of fat that has built up within your bloodstream, right? We just talked about that at the beginning of this video. But to break that down even more, so hyperlipidemia, an abundance of fats, basically think of it as the fat that you are forcing your body to process. Your body has become overwhelmed. You have good fats that your body process, and then there's bad fats that your body process. And when the bad fats overwhelm the good fats, they lose the battle. They lose the fight. And when the bad fats take over, things start to back up, things start to become clogged, and your body is compromised. Okay, so I want to help to simplify this so you can actually understand what's happening within your body. So hyperlipidemia, it's an abundance of fat that have built up within your bloodstream. Also the same as your cholesterol. High cholesterol is what it is, right? So to give you a better understanding of what's happening within your body, so you have HDLs, LDLs, then you have triglycerides. See them as your fat family, right? The fat family that lives within your bloodstream. Some of them come from your liver, some of them come from carbohydrates in the food that you're eating, right? So LDLs, HDLs, see them as twin sisters with similar missions. One of them is good, one of them is bad. And then you got the other sister, triglyceride, that also tried to jump into the fight. But you know, the relationship between the twins, the HDLs and the LDLs, are just a little bit closer than the triglycerides, right? So they all jump into the fight, and then you have a fat party within your bloodstream that is overwhelming to your body. And then now your body is like, oh my God, I have a lot of fat in my bloodstream. How am I going to get this out? And so it sits around thinking like, oh my God, what am I going to do? How do I going to do this? You don't go to your doctor. You don't pay attention to your lab levels. You don't even know what's happening because there's no signs or symptoms to what's happening. You have no idea. The fat buildup in your body, and it just sits there, and then it starts to get hard. And then your body has to work harder because blood cannot flow like it's supposed to. blood cannot get through. Your blood is moving slow, so it can't compete with the fat. The fat is too thick for blood to get through. So things slow down, your arteries begin to harden, plaque builds up, then now your heart is affected, and you now are on a one-way track to a stroke. Hyperlipidemia takes you directly to either a heart attack or a stroke, one or the other. Sometimes they can come at the same time, sometimes one comes before the other. But when you have your arteries that have hardened, blood that has slowed down, blood that cannot flow properly, it cannot get to where it needs to get to, then it forms a clot. Then there's an interruption of blood flow. So now you have an obstruction. Normally that obstruction is either seen within the heart, it can be seen within the brain, which is the stroke. So you either have a heart attack or a stroke. So when you leave hyperlipidemia unchecked, unnoticed, untreated, it leads directly to the hardening of your arteries, which means your blood cannot flow. So there's a hardening of the arteries because there has been an abundance of plaque, an abundance of fat that have been allowed to stay there longer than it should. It's overstayed its welcome. You've done nothing about it. So now it's hardened. It's just sitting there. So it takes root, it hardens. Blood can't flow through. So when blood can't flow through, it then slows the flow of blood. When blood slows down, a clot is formed, which this then leads you directly to either a heart attack or a stroke, because there's an interruption of blood flow, and an interruption of blood flow always leads to obstruction. Obstruction of blood leads you to a heart attack or stroke. Now, granted, some people can't help hyperlipidemia. Some people, they are genetically predisposed to developing hyperlipidemia. It's just within their genetics. I am one of those people. Like if you watch my previous videos, you know that my dad died from a heart attack, his dad died from a heart attack, his dad died from a heart attack. So coronary artery disease is within my family. So I started early on having my cholesterol checked. I was in my 20s when I first had my cholesterol checked. And of course, my cholesterol was high then because I am predisposed. Now, granted, you can also develop hyperlipidemia based off of your diet. So your diet, exercise, if you smoke, if you drink excessively, if you stress, if you have a lot of stress, this can also lead to hyperlipidemia. So at the time, I was not paying attention to my body, nor was I eating healthy. I was taking in an abundance of processed foods, taking in an abundance of fast foods. Fast foods and processed foods lead you directly to hyperlipidemia. Hyperlipidemia is something that you can change. It's something that you can treat. It's one of those factors that you can change with lifestyle changes. So diet and exercise, looking at the amount of stress you have within your life, and just really paying attention to your body. Another way of battling hyperlipidemia is consistent lab work. Having your lipid panel drawn every year. Consistently talking to your doctor about it. You should be having yearly physicals. If you haven't watched my previous videos, I talk about that in my previous videos. But yearly physicals come with yearly lab work, and yearly lab work should include a lipid panel. A lipid panel should tell you about your cholesterol level. I'll include my last one here so you can see what my latest cholesterol panel showed. I watch what I eat. In addition to, I am on a statin. What is a statin? Statin is a drug that is used to treat high cholesterol. There are a number of them. Your doctor can put you on one. I won't give the names of them because I'm not trying to give you direct medical advice. But if you have had labs taken and you see that your lipid panel, your cholesterol is elevated, it's been elevated for a while, you should talk to your doctor about a medication that can help assist you in getting your lipid panel and your cholesterol levels under control. in addition to lifestyle and dieting changes. And if you've already tried lifestyle and dieting changes, make sure you let your doctor know this. Make sure you discuss this with your doctor. So, my overall goal for you is to know what hyperlipidemia is. I feel like I've discussed this within this video. Hopefully it has resonated with you. Talk to your doctor. Talk to them about your health concerns. Also, talk to them about having consistent lab work drawn. I hope this video helps you. If you have not already, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And as always, please be well and please pay attention to your health.